and welcome Rush Gold CEO Jodi Stanton, who joins us now. Jodi, thank you for joining us here on Startup Daily. Look, I won't steal your thunder. You tell us which awards you have been nominated for.
Thanks, Elliot. And thanks to Rebecca and the team and FinTech Australia for promoting the ecosystem here in Australia for so long. Their support's been so helpful to so many of us. So thank you for that. Pity we won't be in person for the awards again. I look forward to next year, and hopefully we'll be back to normal. We're up for 4 awards, I think. Two are around our new debit card. We became the first gold provider in the world, I believe, to launch on the 3 major mobile wallets. So you can actually send gold, buy gold, and spend it in real time through Apple Pay, Samsung Pay, and Google Pay. We worked with EML Payments on that, a local darling here in Australia, and we made news all over the world for that project. So 2 of the awards are around that. I think we're also up for Female FinTech of the Year, and as well as global presence and building our global presence. And that's really around our multi-channel distribution, which on one hand we have a retail app, on the other hand we have what we call a gold as a service. And with that, we're plugging into wealth managers, banks, reward platforms, multifamily offices, and just wallets of any kind globally, and providing gold transactions into those services. So fingers crossed we'll get one of those. We'd be over the moon.
Now, Jodi, of course, we will get to what Rush Gold has done, and of course, you've had a pretty big year, so we do want to dive into those as well. But one of those awards, the Establishing Market Presence Global, it's the 3rd year coming. Why do you think Rush Gold continues to sort of excel in this area to receive the nomination?
We're very much a global company, so we're live in 13 countries, and we were there almost immediately when we launched. Now, we don't promote in those countries just yet. We've recently raised money, which I'll mention in a moment, which will help us to finally do that. But I think it's very much, I guess, seamless transactions across borders. So you can buy gold in a lot of different ways. We've put our stake in the ground really around direct title to gold. So there's lots of ways to own gold, but gold is gold and funds are funds. And we sell gold, direct title, without a lot of systemic risk in between. So we solve for that. Gold is really all about capital preservation. And it has a relevant place in portfolios all around the world, from sovereigns all the way down to folks like me. So and everywhere in between. And for us, it's about creating an alternative to fiat. Now, the world is changing. There's lots of ways to have a bank account. There are lots of ways to make a payment within and between countries. We're not certainly competing with fiat in any way, but the world is changing, and people are coming up with different ways to make payments. And that's one thing that you can do with our gold is it's 24/7 tradable, and you can send it free anywhere in the world with instant settlement. So if I had an invoice to pay cross-border, I could do that instantly. So I think also that gold as a service channel for us. We have 5 projects going across 5 continents at the moment: Australia, Africa, Asia, Europe, and the US. And those are all inbound calls. We're unique in that we have no dependency or reliance on blockchain. But those companies, firms such as banks, such as wealth managers, when they really do need to make sure that something is fully AML compliant and fully compliant on a cross-border, that's where we're getting those phone calls, and we're struggling to keep up with those at the moment, which is a really high-class problem to have.
So, Jodi, you've mentioned them there, the 5 projects around the world. Tell us a little bit more about these, particularly, I guess, for the Australian audience.
I probably shouldn't go into that's probably something I'm going to probably go into too much right now, but it is, it's all about payments and wallets and different platforms. We have a Internet of Things company out of Asia that we're working on. We're becoming a core payment type within their app that they're launching. That's a new company. We have one out of Africa, which is a bill payment company, which is quite massive already. So that we're very excited to hit the continent of Africa. In the US, we've got a gaming company putting real gold into their games. It's a mobile gaming company, and there are others. We're working on a bank as well, a private bank at the moment. We'll be telling you more about that when we're ready to actually announce those to the market. But it's suffice to say we're actually very busy. We're busy hiring 4 or 5 different folks to help us with that at the moment. So just trying to keep up. It's all positive.
Now, part of that help, I guess, of course, is the recent capital raise you did. Tell us about that and what the immediate deployment of those funds is for.
So we've had several rounds of small raises as we go and hit milestones. We tend to kind of hit a milestone and go out to raise a little bit of funds. So we've raised about 8 to 9 million in the market to date. The recent raise was led by, or closed by, I should say, Dragon Tree Capital here in Australia. And that's really exciting because they bring Dragon Tree brings not only funds, but a very strategic partnership there in terms of developing new channels. And in particular, we're using those funds to build out a family office product, a multi-family office product. We're open up for retail, so self-managed super funds as well, trust, partnerships, companies. But we really hadn't nailed the family office side of that in a VIP account, I suppose. So now working on that. I mean, we've seen our business has tripled over each of the last couple of years, and our average transaction size continues to do the same. And I think it's just more larger investors are coming in and looking for that instant liquidity and the direct title. And so they're helping us with all of that. What's interesting, a lot of people hold gold through ETFs, through derivatives, through pooled assets, and the holding costs are quite high compared. So for us, we're a premium gold product because you own direct title, and that is unique in the market. But we're insured by Lloyd's of London, audited by Bureau Veritas, held in vaults here in Sydney, in Australia with Brinks Global Services. With our family office product, you will be able to choose where you want to vault your gold, and a few other things. We're working on a lending product as well. So we have our product roadmap looks very much like a bank roadmap with all those things in it. And again, we're not here to replace a bank account, but it is an alternative. We're also working on youth accounts, parent-child accounts, because the generational wealth distribution is a huge opportunity for us. And we've had so many calls over the last few years. How do I send my child or my grandson on the other side of the world, a gift of gold? And so we're finally delivering that, which is great. I mean, that capital is just going to be really handy. And then we're gearing up for a new fundraise in March of 2022. And so we can do quite a bit of with the growth, with the funds that we've just got to grow our business, and then we'll go out again in March for a larger raise.
So Jodi, you're certainly touching upon a lot of different aspects of someone's financial journey. I guess you talked about intergenerational wealth, SMSFs, debit cards as well. Tell us about the opportunity that there is to be had in gold. Obviously, we're seeing today bullion prices are rising on the back of US Treasury sort of yielding a little bit. Where can this go?
Look, gold's been around a very long time. It's a bedrock asset in a portfolio of many forms. And I think cryptocurrencies often get compared to gold. I think they're very different things. I think gold's really about capital preservation. I own both. We started out very much trying to put an asset on blockchain. We have very strong views about that. But we all of us own some sort of crypto on our own. But gold is a very different place, and it's less about speculation, more about asset preservation. Governments have historically bought gold over time. You can pick up the newspaper any given day and read more about that. We get phone calls from all over for large entities to buy large amounts of gold, even on behalf of governments. So that's no secret. But at the lower end of town, it's been one of those assets that's had high minimums, and a bit of paperwork, and it's just really unreachable. It's hard to store. It's just a bit cumbersome. So we've tried to make that really simple. I don't think the demand for gold is going away anytime soon. I mean, gold's interesting in its performance. It's uncorrelated to a lot of other assets. It's not meant to be 90% of your portfolio, but a lot of people believe that 10% is a nice number. Gold is gold. It really doesn't move in price. It reflects the price of currencies moving around it. So it depends upon a lot of things globally, and I just think that gold's not going away. It's multi-trillion-dollar asset class. So highly traded, deep markets around the world, and the demand is certainly going up. We're very happy to be in the gold segment, and we have been for many years. And as the debt to GDP ratio increases around the world for so many countries, we're at 28% here in Australia. We're not doing so bad. The US is 130. Look at Japan, it's double that again. And I think people do need to think hard about the amount of debt that they have, and look at what assets they can hold. But gold is absolutely about capital preservation. It's not going to triple over the next 3 months, that's for sure. But we believe that the demand for this is just going to continue to rise.
So obviously, as you said, demand for gold is going to continue to rise. It's got trillions of dollars. You'd be quite safe just playing in the gold space. Do you see a future where there might be more, say, precious metals added to Rush Gold?
We do get asked that for sure. We've looked at a lot of things to do as a next step, but I think we're going to stick with gold. I think you don't have to offer every ice cream flavor, I suppose. We just want to be the best at gold and really the best at what we do. We've certainly looked at silver. We've looked at a few others. But I think right now we have huge plans for what we're going to do with gold, and what we can do with that. And a lot of that we'll be talking a bit more in the next 24 months. But right now we're pretty focused on gold.
So Jodi, we've got the 4 awards up that you're up for next week. Good luck with those. How will you be celebrating the Finnie evening yourself?
Well, we will not be in lockdown, so pretty excited about that. So I'll tell you the day after, but right now it's all fresh what we can do and what we can get away with. So we'll certainly enjoy ourselves.
Well, good luck next week. Jodi Stanton from Rush Gold, thanks for joining us on Startup Daily.
Thanks, Elliot.